What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jada Real. I'm back with another reaction video. Today boys, we're going to be reacting to what is called 6 most terrifying abandoned building encounters. And I'm assuming it's going to be people inside the abandoned houses and shit, like maybe homeless niggas. I don't fucking know. But we're going to find out what it is. Maybe it's them silent alarms that be going off, and hopefully it's terrifying for real and it ain't no bullshit. Hey, hit like, hit subscribe, y'all know what to do. Drop a comment, y'all know. So without further ado, let's get into it, boys. Alright boys, here it is, let's do it.
On March 28, 2026, a popular urban explorer named Christopher Brian Hill of Urbex Hill uploaded a video that quickly had people talking. In this particular video, Christopher went exploring an abandoned building in East Cleveland, not knowing he would run into something that would shake him. At first, everything looked the way you'd expect an abandoned building sitting in the middle of the woods to look. Dark hallways, broken furniture, strange graffiti scratched and sprayed across nearly every wall, and some of—
What do they say on the side right there? Alright, let's—
Strange graffiti scratched and sprayed across nearly every wall, and some of the writing was deeply disturbing. But Christopher kept going, the way he always does.
Oh, somebody's here. What the fuck?
Now, here's where things get more complicated. Christopher was live streaming this entire exploration. That meant he was juggling 2 problems at once. First, a terrible network connection that kept cutting in and out. Second, the very real and growing feeling that he was not the only person in that building. He began doing something that seasoned explorers learn to do in situations like this. Whenever he heard a sound, he would stop instantly, frozen and perfectly still. In those moments of silence, there would be no sound at all. But the moment he began moving again, the other sounds would quietly return. Not the sounds of his footsteps, but something else. It felt deliberate, like whatever or whoever was in there with him was trying to torture him psychologically.
Dude, them loud ass footsteps. You damn right he hears you. I don't know why you keep standing still.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. This is probably the scariest place I could have picked.
A lot of people in that situation would have walked straight back out of the building the moment things started feeling off. Christopher is not most people. He kept going from room to room, floor to floor.
What the fuck does he get out of this? It sounds like he's looking for this shit. I guess it is exploration of an abandoned building, but by yourself, loud ass. He probably got on boots and shit too. What you in the bed, bro? He's stepping on all types of glass and shit.
Probably telling himself there was a logical explanation. But the building kept pushing back. When he finally climbed the stairs to the upper level, the signs were even clearer. Something was up there too.
Y'all hear that? That's somebody talking.
And you don't want to leave? You're by yourself? Maybe he's got a weapon on him or something.
There's a very good chance people are here. It also almost smells like wood burning, which would make sense. Yeah. Yeah, this is wild. This place looks crazy at night.
And then came the moment that turned his suspicion into something much harder to ignore. Deep in the section of the building that looked like it had been blasted with a bomb, Christopher found a piece of clothing.
The fuck is that? Some drawers? Is that some underwear again? Some Hanes underwear?
Somebody's here, y'all.
Most people, after finding something like that, would shut off the camera and walk straight to the car. Christopher stayed. He kept the stream going for a few more hours, moving through that building into the dark, never knowing how close he was to whoever had left that piece of clothing behind. Was it someone who had already left? Someone sleeping in another room? Someone watching him from a corner he hadn't checked yet?
Dang, how big is this fucking building? Now it looks like he's in a fucking house or something. What the fuck did he explore again? An abandoned like apartment building or some shit?
He made it out safely. But the thing about this video is that the danger was never something you could point to directly. There was
Bro, that house big as hell, gang. How the fuck was he exploring that shit for 2 hours? Or maybe even more. What the fuck?
no confrontation, no clear threat. Just the constant
Look how many fucking rooms it got. This had to be 2 separate places, gang. What the fuck?
creeping feeling that he was being watched. And sometimes that is more unsettling than anything you could ever see. Sorry to cut in for just a sec.
Guys, what do you think about that one? Somebody was definitely in that bit. That shit is scary though, like being watched and shit. You get that feeling like somebody's watching you. That shit is creepy as fuck.
Some urban explorers walk into abandoned places hoping nothing happens. The man behind the channel Rotting Midwest walked in on August 29, 2024, with a friend, and it was immediately obvious this was going to be a very different kind of video.
These motherfuckers doing parkour and shit to get in this motherfucker. They say police chase, so they finna get fucking caught.
The building they had chosen was off limits to the public. The main entrance was completely sealed shut. There was no walking in through the front door. So they did what determined explorers do. They scaled metal ledges along the outside of the structure and eventually found a gap in the roof. That is how they got in, through the roof. Once you have to enter a building through the roof, you already know you're in legally questionable territory. They knew it. They went in anyway. Inside, they started finding things that should have made them turn around. First, a motion sensor. Then, a little further in, another one.
You're cooked. They already know you're in there, buddy.
The second one appeared to be working. They backed away from it slowly and moved to a different part of the building, trying to stay off whatever system was monitoring the place. But here's the problem with exploring a building you've never been in before. You don't know the layout. You don't know where the sensors are. And in a building like this one, they were likely everywhere.
What? I told you, dude, it's sealed.
That's crazy. There's nothing in here though.
A motion sensor.
It's a motion sensor?
Yeah.
Was it put back up? It looks like it was
It's
ripped
broken.
off. Yeah, it ripped off.
It's a motion sensor, though.
Yeah, doesn't look like it works anymore though.
Yeah, for sure.
It was only a matter of
Dude, why are you fucking touching it?
time. When the alarm finally triggered, the sound cut through the quiet building like a knife. They ran, no discussion, no debate, just pure instinct. They scrambled back toward the way they had come in and got out.
Right here, please. There's a door over here. Why would you touch that?
What did you do?
Why would you touch that? Here, let's go. Let's get over this.
Touch what?
I didn't do anything.
Dude, the alarm went off.
I didn't touch anything.
I didn't go near anywhere. I followed right behind you.
Here's the part that tells you a lot about who these two are. After escaping from a building that had already nearly got them caught, they did not go home.
Damn, these motherfuckers like that shit. They love the adrenaline, man. Yeah, I'd be fully masked up though. Fuck all that.
They did not take a breath and call it a day. They found another location nearby, an abandoned school, and they
Dude, you don't think the cops are already looking for somebody already and you go inside an abandoned school, nigga? You don't think there's alarms in there as well? You're cooked.
went straight in. This school, as it turned out, also had motion detectors, which is not something most people expect from an old school building. But this one had them. And the two explorers found that out the same way they found out at the first location, by being in the wrong place.
Gotta look for motion detectors. You think the door to our right opens if we...
I mean, the lights are still on there. Wait, why the fuck are they not going at nighttime? Why are you going during the day? That's fucking stupid, gang. I would go during the nighttime at least.
need to escape? I think that looks like it would open.
Them stairs got one of the fucking alarms on it for sure.
And I feel like an alarm could go off.
Yeah, check the lighters and stuff.
I don't see any cameras or motion detectors over here.
They moved through the classrooms, through the hallways, through the common areas, taking in everything the building had left behind.
But who's still using that spot though? If the light bill's still being paid, somebody's still going in that mother.
Desks, the boards, the lockers. Then they came across something that stopped them. A detail inside the school that suggested the building was not completely empty or completely forgotten.
I fucking told you.
Something that made them realize they may have walked into a situation again.
What is that? People are definitely still here, bro. We gotta hurry up. Oh, there's a door right there.
And then from outside came the sound of police sirens.
Oh, they already know you're fucking in there, buddy.
Close, getting closer. They did not wait to find out if those sirens had anything to do with them. They walked out of the building and moved away from the area as quickly as they could without running. Given that they had already triggered an alarm at the first building earlier that day, the timing of those sirens was not exactly a coincidence you'd want to bet your freedom on. They got away. But this case is a good reminder that in urban exploration, the building itself is rarely your only problem.
Yeah, oh god. See, that's one thing you gotta worry about going to them abandoned places. But that one, it was definitely not an abandoned because it still had lights on it, motherfucker. You niggas just broke in. Hey, they lucky as fuck they got away, bro. They lucky the cops did not pull up and surround that bitch. I'm telling you, bro. Led into a trap by a homeless man.
This next case comes from a small group of explorers from Ohio who run a channel called The Decaying Age. The channel's been quiet for about 11 months now. But before they stopped posting, one of their videos picked up real attention. Not because of anything paranormal, not because of any dramatic chase, but because of a single man they met inside an abandoned steel treating plant and the decision he made after their conversation.
You're meeting a guy in there, you think he's good or something? You think he's just a random dude or something? Like, I'm sorry, bro. If I run into you at an abandoned place that I'm exploring, shit ain't gonna be nice, buddy.
When one of the explorers stepped into the plant, the decay was the first thing that registered.
And then look at this spot. There's no fucking way. No regular ass dude is in here, bro. They stand somewhere else. Who the fuck stand in this creepy ass spot? I wouldn't. Fuck that shit, nigga. I'd rather sleep outside in a fucking box.
Rust on every surface, the smell of a building that's been sealed off from fresh air for years. But mixed in with all of that rot was something that felt recent. Garbage and patterns that suggested someone had been sorting through it. a cleared area, small signs that pointed to the possibility of living there.
Looks like someone might live in here. Looks like that was a wall or maybe a hammock. I'm not sure.
He kept moving. Then, out of the dark, a voice, sharp, loud, threatening. A man somewhere in the building yelled at them to get out, making it very clear they were not welcome in a place he clearly thought of as his own.
I don't want to get too far away from everybody, but this is really neat.
I'm the urban explorer, just filming. Is it all right if we walk around a bit and take a few more pictures? Probably not to. No. All right, well, we are then.
Dude up there.
Yeah, I know we were yelling at you because we heard something and we just kept going.
One of the group members went to speak to him directly. It did not go well at first. The man told them to leave and refused to let them film. But here's the thing about explorers.
Buddy, you don't own this fucking place. I'm gonna either call the cops here and we all gonna get in trouble, or you let me go around and do the rest of my fucking video, nigga. What the fuck? You don't own this place, nigga?
They're persistent. Instead of leaving the building entirely, the group quietly moved to a different wing.
Gang, you see what I'm saying? You might well just told him some shit like that instead of going around and doing this shit and still being in there, cause now he's gonna try to fucking attack y'all, nigga.
Kept their voices low and carried on. They moved like people who were trying not to be heard. For a while, it worked. They ran into the man again, and this time everything changed.
We're just hoping to take some videos. We're not looking to bother you, and we'll leave you alone. We don't want any trouble. We won't film any of our videos. We're just here to take some videos of this place here. Why? Because we do what's called urban exploring. So we pretty much show people abandoned buildings, and they think it's. Huh? Is it big?
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than this one.
Really? Goodyear? Did you say the Goodyear building?
On the east end.
On the east end, you said? Yeah. Again, we don't want to cause you no problems. We're not here to bother you. We just want to take some videos of this place.
And we'll be gone before you know it.
Right. We'll be quick. We won't even come over on your side if you don't want.
Yep. We get it, brother. We ain't here to cause any trouble.
What? Got $1, you said?
He was calmer now. He talked to them. He told them about a bigger abandoned building nearby, one he said was worth exploring, told them it was impressive, told them they'd find a lot more to film there. It sounded like a local giving a helpful tip.
That's obviously a trap. What the fuck? GG's, mud. GG's.
Like someone who, despite being annoyed at first, had decided to be generous. It was not generous at all.
But when we drove to the building that the homeless guy told us about, this is what happened.
That's your only way in? Y'all are fucking doomed this nigga come running after you.
No point in looking now. Get on with it.
The building the man sent them to had a serious history. Drug busts, reports of murders in recent years. It was not a safe place. It was the kind of location that locals know to avoid. And the homeless man knew all of this. He had sent them there deliberately because he was angry that strangers had walked into the only home he had. And he wanted them to understand what that felt like. The footage of one of the explorers gesturing and talking to what appears to be a security presence at the second building is him trying to explain who they are. That they're just there to film and that they didn't know what the place was. They got out. But think through what could have happened at any point in this chain of events. The homeless man knew the layout of his own building. He knew every corner, every exit, every blind spot. He could have backed them into one of those corners. He could have taken advantage of the fact that they were strangers in his space. He chose instead to do something more calculated. Point them somewhere worse, somewhere where other people would handle them.
Oh my god, gang, they would have went in there and got killed if it wasn't that for security, dude. Bro, they probably would have never made it home, bro. Oh, hell nah.
There is no ghost in this story, no unexplained.
I would have told the security guard, yeah, there's a guy in the other building. He's in there sleeping. Could you go get him out?
Phenomenon. Just a man who was backed into a corner by life and decided when given the chance to point someone else toward danger. That's a very human kind of scary. And in a lot of ways, it's the most disturbing kind.
That's fucking crazy.
On February 17, 2025, the explorer behind the channel 2swag.productions chose what might be the single most ambitious target in this entire video. A massive historically protected abandoned hospital right in the center of Madrid, Spain. This building was constructed in the early 1960s and is considered a significant piece of Spanish architectural history. Because of that status, the building is watched constantly. Hundreds of cameras are positioned at every angle of the exterior. 3 security guards patrol the grounds every day, around the clock. Getting in through the front was simply not an option, so 2swag spent time observing the building, mentally mapping its weakness. Then he came up with a plan.
Scary place. Looks like a possible entrance.
This is what you call high risk, no reward.
Right there. There's a pool.
We have made it inside.
After forcing his way inside, much of what he saw was either old, disgusting, or simply not working. But none of these things would prepare him for this horrifying discovery.
I made it in. But oh my gosh, that scared me so bad. I have never felt like a heart sink that deeply before. I hate that.
Oh my god, dude, that shit looks real as fuck.
It looks so human. Oh, gosh. They definitely made this to scare people away.
The more serious problem arrived when he started moving through the building more freely. Almost every single door had been deliberately blocked. Someone, probably the security team, had placed heavy objects in front of each one. Fire extinguishers mostly. The message was clear: we know people try to get in here and we are making it harder to move around once they do. Moving a fire extinguisher quietly is basically impossible. When 2swag shifted one away from a door to pass through, the scraping sound it made echoed down the empty hallway. Somewhere on the other side of the building, a guard heard it. He heard
Damn, nigga.
the footsteps and moved fast towards the nearest bathroom. The door pulled shut, and there he stayed completely still for what felt like a very long time.
Yeah, they put freaking barricades on every single door, so it'll make noise if you go through. Not even to lock them. They push from the other side. Wait, I just closed it. No. No, if this doesn't work, I'm fucked.
Imagine being the security guard though, working that job. You would have to pay me hella money to do that shit. I'm pretty sure the security guard, he probably got a gun. But a security guard, they usually get a motherfucker's flashlight and a motherfucking, you feel me? Motherfucking billy club, nightclub to hit you over. That shit ain't gonna do nothing.
We gotta go. This looks open.
I hear the nigga come and run, nigga.
No, this can't be a dead end.
When he finally came out, the guards seemed to have moved on. The internal cameras, it turned out, were no longer functional. Whatever noise had triggered the guards' attention, they couldn't confirm it on a monitor. They had to rely on their own ears and their own instincts. And for a moment, that worked in Two Swag's favor. But he was not clear yet. As he made his way toward an exit, he passed a wide glass wall. On the other side of it, one of the guards. They made eye contact. The guard reached for his baton. And then the chase began.
I told you they only have fucking batons and flashlights and shit, bro. I'm telling you, I see that nigga in there, I'm just gonna look at him and probably wave at him and not do shit.
Building that Two Swag had only half mapped, being pursued by a man who had worked in it for years.
That's their stand right there. We have security. No, they're going back in.
Gang, they see you. Run.
What are they saying?
Who the fuck does Buddy think he is?
There's three. No, don't go back. He has a baton. He has a baton. Shh.
Luckily, he got out.
And then you in Spain. What do you think they gonna do with, bro? Hell no. Fuck going to Spain prison. You from America, buddy, you're cooked. You probably cooked. Ain't no telling what they do over there. They got different rules, different laws and shit.
Two Swag Productions has built a large following for his high-stakes explorations across Europe. And this Madrid hospital video became one of his most viewed uploads, largely because of how close the ending came to going very differently. But it's worth asking the question his video leaves hanging in the air. What exactly would have happened if that guard had caught him? Trespassing in a protected historic site in another country is not a minor infraction. The content was thrilling, but if he had been caught, the consequences would have been far less so.
Told you.
October 3rd, 2020, a Russian urban explorer whose channel goes by the name of Urban Stalks uploaded a video that is difficult to shake once you've seen it. Not because of what the building looked like, but because of what happened inside it. The location was the kind of place he'd filmed dozens of times before. Floors covered in layers of garbage. Walls buried so deep in graffiti that the original color was barely visible underneath. That building definitely had the smell of a building that's been closed up and left to rot for years. He moved through it the way experienced explorers do, calmly, steadily, narrating as he went, treating it like just another video.
Давайте пройдемся, посмотрим по первому этажу, что здесь и как. И потом будем потихонечку подниматься наверх. Или наоборот, найдем подвал. Как вы просили в комментариях, я тоже приехал ночью, хотя обычно на заброшке ездил днем, но в этот раз я решил приехать ночью. Здесь довольно большое количество граффити на первом этаже. Как-то вот так вот все это выглядит. Давайте, наверное, рисовали абсолютно недавно, потому что баллончики еще находятся здесь. Вот еще какая-то комната. Нет, здесь нереальная пустота, только граффити на стенах. Я очень надеюсь, что петличка реально работает, и звук имеет абсолютно другое качество.
Then he heard human voices coming from somewhere further inside. He moved toward them slowly and carefully while keeping his camera up. What he found was not another explorer who had wandered in out of curiosity. It was a person who was already there, already agitated and holding something sharp. The moment the explorer's presence registered, the situation shifted. There was no time to de-escalate the tension. Whatever chance there was for things to go peacefully disappeared very quickly.
Блять.
They call him a bitch.
Кто здесь? Сука! Блять! Я, блять, сука! Ебать! Блять! Ебать! Я не ослышался, ебать! Я здесь не один, нахуй!
He got away, but the clip makes it very clear just how close that was. There is something almost darkly...
What the fuck? Guys, my whole fucking curtain just fucking fell. Let's keep it going, bro. What the fuck?
Ironic about this particular case. The man runs a channel called Urban Stocks. His whole identity online is built around going into places quietly, observing things from a distance, catching footage that most people would never think to look for. And on this day, he became the one being observed and being stalked. He became the one caught off guard and the one who had to run. Urban explorers talk a lot about the risks of unstable floors and collapsing ceilings. They plan for structural failure. They carry first aid. What they cannot fully plan for is a person already living inside the building they've just walked into. Someone with nothing to lose and no particular reason to let a stranger with a camera walk back out the door. This video is a reminder of that. And it's one of the more honest pieces of footage to come out of the urban exploration world in recent years, because it shows exactly what the real danger usually is. We open this video with Christopher Brian Hill of Urbex Hill. It's only fitting that we close with him too, because this final video might be the one that quietly, with very little drama, came closest to ending very badly for him. On July 6, 2025, Christopher visited St. Vincent Hospital in Cleveland, Ohio. The building itself was constructed in 1965, but the institution's history reaches back much further. St. Vincent Hospital was founded in 1865, which makes it one of the oldest medical facilities in Cleveland's history. For over 150 years, it served the city, births, emergencies, surgeries, the full spectrum of what a hospital touches. Then the pandemic arrived. The pressure it placed on healthcare systems was enormous, and St. Vincent was no exception. Patient numbers dropped sharply as people avoided hospitals out of fear. Costs kept climbing. The strain on staff and resources became impossible to manage. By 2022, the decision was made: the hospital closed. 157 years of history and then silence. Christopher arrived at the building at night the way he usually does. But before he even got close to the entrance, he could already hear something, an alarm going off somewhere inside the building. Most people would have taken that as a very clear signal to keep walking. Christopher walked toward it instead. Inside the building showed everything you'd expect from a large hospital that had been sitting empty for a few years. Floors buried under garbage, medical supplies left behind in no particular order, furniture pushed to the walls or knocked over. Rooms that once had a clear purpose are now stripped of any obvious function. It had the particular kind of sadness that medical buildings carry when they go dark.
All of this is gone.
Christopher did not have a permit to be in that building. He had not cleared his visit with the city or with whoever held ownership of the property. So when the sound of police sirens started filtering in through the walls, his response was immediate and instinctive. He cut his camera light and he sat completely still for over 5 minutes, waiting to hear what happened next. Eventually, he decided it was safe to move. He made his way to an exit. stepped out of the building and came out into the open night air. And right there, a police car was parked. It moved, it drove past him, and then it stopped.
You don't want to move that can?
No.
Okay.
So I just got a bunch of pictures for y'all. Got rid of it.
Just don't go in, because somebody,
I didn't go in.
Somebody fell in there, and it took us an hour to get the motherfucker out that deep. So I ain't saving nobody tonight.
I got you, bro. I'm out.
Okay.
All right, take care. All right.
An officer got out of the car and spoke to him, and what that officer said is worth paying close attention to. He told Christopher plainly and without much elaboration that he was not out there to save anybody that night. Listen to that again slowly. A police officer standing outside an abandoned hospital in the middle of the night tells a man he happens to encounter that saving people is not why he's there. That's a person communicating with very little room for misinterpretation, that the area around that building has a history, that things happen there regularly enough that officers patrol it at night, that people who go near that place looking for trouble tend to find it. Nothing visibly dangerous or paranormal happened inside during Christopher's visit. He didn't encounter another person. He didn't find anything that couldn't be explained. But that one sentence from the officer weighs more than most dramatic moments in urban exploration content ever could, because it tells you the danger around the building is real, ongoing, and known to people paid to keep the neighborhood safe. 7 years of exploring, hundreds of videos, encounters in buildings across multiple states, and this one, a quiet night, a short conversation with a police officer outside an old hospital, might be the closest Christopher has ever come to something going seriously wrong. Not because of what was inside the building, but because of what had apparently been happening just around it.
W video, you feel me, is better than the other ones that I watched, or the last one that I just watched. Alright, anyways, YouTube, this ends the video right here. If y'all like the video, drop a like, drop a comment, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you at it. Cause you just watched it fully through. I appreciate y'all watching it all the way through. You feel me? Keep running me up. We almost at 500 subs. We're at 433. We don't need that much more, bro. Let's keep it going. Let's run this up. And we on the way to the top. And I'll catch y'all boys in the next video. It's coming soon. Peace out.